no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-B, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what is going on? You are watching the Raiders Report. I'm going to get into the latest news and rumors around Damon Arnette, Mo Hurst, and our very famous Monday Overreaction show. Before I do, I want to give some love to today's sponsor, Panda Sups. They just launched their new protein here. If you like chocolate, vanilla, fruity cereal, you got to go check out this stuff. 30 grams of protein per scoop, only 140 calories, zero sugar added, 30% off to only Raider fans that use code JUST1BABY at chatsports.com/protein. I'm going to put that link in the comments and in the description. But again, show presented by Panda Sups. Let's get into it. Is Damon Arnette going to be playing in Week 9? I'm going to give it 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. He hasn't played since Week 3, went down with that thumb injury. Today, and about an hour ago, he is headed to Houston to see a thumb specialist. John Gruden flat out said he does have a chance to play. I personally didn't peg him to be able to come back until Week 10, but this is a good sign because the Raiders still need help in that secondary. Trayvon Mullen has been an absolute lockdown corner. Nevin Lawson, on the other hand, on the other side of the football, has not been as good. I want to see the rookie that the Raiders drafted in the first round this past year get healthy and get himself on the football field. Another guy that I'm hoping gets on the football field is Mo Hurst, and is he going to play in Week 9? I'm actually going to give this one 3 Chucky heads, and I think it's pretty likely. I know a lot of people were like, Mitch, where the heck was Mo Hurst in Week 8? Well, he got banged up with an ankle injury. Luckily, John Gruden came out and said on Monday he doesn't anticipate the injury to be very serious. He does expect to see Mo Hurst play this week. That is, barring any setback. He is going to be limited the entire week. But at the end of the day, this is a team that's going to need Damon Arnette. They're going to be a team that needs Hurst, especially when you're going up against the rival in the Chargers. I don't want anyone to sleep on them. Justin Herbert has looked good. Did they blow a lead this past week against the Broncos? Yes, but you have the Chargers, you have the Broncos coming up. Got to get these guys healthy. Now, here at the Raiders Report, we're trying to keep you guys updated. Latest news, rumors, everything Raiders. My goal, I have to get to 61,000 subs by midnight tonight. Currently at 60,969. I just need 31 more. So if you come across this video and you're subbed, I love you guys very much. But if you know people that aren't subbed yet, send that link that you see below, youtube.com/Raiders Report, and tell the guys to subscribe. All right, let's get into my Overreaction Monday now. Trent Brown, you're first up here. Do I and the rest of Raider Nation owe Brown an apology? I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads, and yes, this is a believe it, baby. So yesterday, he was hospitalized after a mishap with his pre-game IV that caused air to enter his bloodstream and required immediate medical attention. Trent then stayed overnight at the hospital in Cleveland. When the news came out that Trent Brown wasn't going to be able to play, I'm also going to sit there and say, well, the way that it was reported, I don't really think that the Raiders did a very good job. John Gruden said that Trent Brown couldn't catch his wind and that they were worried about him not being in good enough shape because of last week he missed because of COVID. So for me, I saw that and I was like, man, what exactly happened? I do want to give an apology, though, to Trent Brown and more of an update on what happened today on Monday. He underwent more tests. He was released from the hospital, which is definitely good news. Also, the NFLPA, they are going to launch an investigation. Not that it's like anything out of the ordinary. They're just doing their job simply. And I'm going to do my job. I try to keep you guys as up to date as possible, but I also try to be uncut and exactly who I am. But when I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong, and I said some things about Trent Brown not wanting to play yesterday that me personally, I just want to apologize for. So, Trent, I know you probably don't watch the Raiders Report, but if you do, accept my apology, and if you said anything bad about him, you guys can also go down in the comment section and type sorry TB. Let's go to the next story here. It's around Derek Carr. And is this Carr's best season ever? I put something out on Twitter. Go check it out, Mitchell Renz 365, with some numbers that maybe he deserves to be in that MVP conversation. But anytime you get people that talk about Carr, whether they love him, whether they hate him, you're always going to go back to 2015 and 2016. So I was like, okay, let me look at the numbers here. Look at Derek Carr's 2015, 2016 stats. Completion percentage, pass yards, the touchdown to interception ratios. But you see that other number there? The first down runs. I'll get to that in a second. So let's look at Derek Carr's 2020 stats. 71.1% completion percentage, 1,838 yards, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to compare 2015 to his 2020 pace. Let's look at it. Completion percentage, advantage 2020. Pass yards, advantage 2020. How about that touchdown to interception ratio? Yeah, that's pretty dang beautiful. The first down runs, though. How many fans out there like Derek needs to use his legs more? You know, I'm not totally sold on him becoming a running quarterback. That's not what I want. But the one thing Carr is doing this year, he's showing that he's actually got some balls to him. And he's not afraid to go pick up that first down. And that's exactly what he's doing with his legs. But it's also look at the 2016 stats here, right? Because you got to look at both. Where he had 28-6. This was the year where a lot of people said that was Derek Carr's MVP season. And as you can see, it's actually not even close. His 2020 year is much, much better. Now, it's always going to come down to wins and losses because that's how a quarterback is judged. But I'm going to judge Derek off the leadership he's shown all offseason and just show you guys from a simple standpoint, when Derek Carr has a healthy offensive line, when he has pieces around him, he can be a freaking damn good quarterback. And he has been a very good quarterback. And making $21.5 million, you're not going to be able to find many guys who are able to play at his level. And another thing, he beat the Chiefs, and he's winning in cold weather games. Derek Carr, this is the best season that he has ever had. I'm going to type my Y for yes, but obviously the show is about the nation. The show is about y'all getting a voice too, because every single person that watches every Chat Sports video, every person that comes across the Raiders Report video deserves to get their voice heard. So is this Carr's best season ever? Y for yes, or you can type your N for no. Time to go to the defense now, because this is where, it's been a little rough, obviously. And is Paul Guenther still on the hot seat? After the Week 5 game against the Chiefs, we were like, okay, it's getting a little bit hotter, obviously. After Week 7, it was full-on meltdown mode. I made the Fire Paul Guenther shirts. But they gave up only 6 points to the Browns. So is he still on the hot seat? Yes. Plain and simple, he is. It's for Chucky heads. You can't just have one good game and then basically throw out the other 38 games that he's been the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. Did the defense hold the Browns to 6 points? Absolutely. But, if you actually watch the game, you can't sit here and say that weather didn't play a major factor in this one because, guys, let's face it. It 100% did. Now, I'm also going to say this, that I am going to tip my cap to Paul Guenther, and I'm going to tip my cap to Jon Gruden, who did a very good job preparing for this game. We saw the team stacking the box, forcing Baker Mayfield to try to beat him deep. With the winds at 40 miles an hour, they couldn't do that. They also didn't have Odell Beckham Jr. So I'm sitting here ripping on Paul Guenther, but I am also going to tip my cap to him and say, you know what? The game plan, I liked it a lot. So how hot is Guenther's seat from a scale from 0 to 10? 0 is like it's not hot at all, Mitch. You need to chill the F out. 10 being that it is red flipping hot. I am still going to be around that 9, 8 range. Heck, you can maybe even make it a 10. I get the fact that they had a good game this past week, but I do think it was because of the weather. So let me know. Scale 0 to 10. I did find these quotes here that I thought were pretty interesting from Jon Gruden. We actually made a big deal out of the weather. We knew the weather was going to be really harsh. We kept talking about how we struggled on the road and the bad weather last season against the Jets and the Chiefs. He also had this to say: we kind of enjoyed it. I think our guys look forward to the challenge of the weather more than anything. You can't imagine it. You can't even explain the win. It was against everybody today. What he's talking about there is something that I talked about on our Tuesday show. The Raiders the entire week, credit to them, looked at the weather report. They played with slick balls. They played with wet footballs. They tried to make it seem like they were going to be in these conditions. Now, I don't know how you replicate 40-mile-an-hour winds, but a lot of the ways that the Raiders have struggled in the past is not properly preparing for football games. Jon Gruden, Paul Guenther, the entire team was ready to go, and that's why they ended up beating the Cleveland Browns. Now, today's show, again, presented by Panda Subs. Absolutely love these guys. The guy who owns it, big-time Raider fan. That's why he's hooking y'all up with the code JUST1BABY. Going to save you 30% off on their new protein. Go try it out. It's at chatsports.com/protein. So for guys out there, I don't know about you, when I'm looking for protein, I want to know how many grams per scoop. 30 grams per scoop. Not only that, you get egg white protein, you get casein protein, you get 4 different kinds of protein blends, which is going to help feed your muscles right after workout. And honestly, if you're trying to get into shape, take a scoop of this right before you go to bed because it's going to fuel you for about 4 to 6 hours. But you got vanilla, you got chocolate, and with the deal we got going on, $34.99. Also, important thing to mention here, you can get free shipping on orders over $100. So honestly, go take advantage of this. Get the vanilla, get the chocolate, but my favorite, I'm telling you all this right now, is the fruity cereal flavor. You remember as a kid, you got, some Fruit Loops or whatever, maybe you got some Fruity Pebbles, and that milk that was at the bottom of the bowl when you got done, that's what this one tastes like. I love chocolate, I love vanilla. This fruity cereal, it is next level. Please go try it out. You're going to absolutely love it. Get all three, get free shipping, save 30%, chatsports.com/protein. All you got to use, though, is code just1, baby. Let's now go to the trade deadline. Let's talk about some rumors here. Could the Raiders be trading away some players? I'm going to give this one only one Chucky head, and I think it's a small shred of truth, but it's always something that you have to keep in the back of your mind. The Raiders have shown that they value draft picks, and what I've seen from other teams that have been sellers so far over the last, let's say, 72 hours, if you want to get extra picks, you can go out and do it. And their current cap space right now is $6.04 million, and the NFL trade deadline, remember, November 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So what I wanted to be able to show you guys is, hey, who are the two dudes that I think have the highest chance of getting traded? The first name that I'm going to bring up here is Foster Moreau. Yes, he did play in over 30 snaps this past week. I'm going to say, though, again, that has a lot more to do with the weather and them trying to get more tight ends on the field. However, he's played in only about 35 snaps the 3 weeks before that. Jason Witten has been, well, better than Foster Moreau this year. Another player that I'm going to throw out there is Zay Jones. I anticipate Bryan Edwards being back soon, and this is nothing to do with Jones. It's just the talent right now for the Raiders and their wide receiver group. It's just stacked against Zay Jones, a player that's never really been able to fit. So for me, I'm like, okay, it's Foster, it's Zay Jones. If you guys think of another name of a player that the Raiders could get rid of, throw them down there in the comments below. I see some people ask me, Mitch, could the Raiders trade Marcus Mariota? No, nobody's going to pay $7.5 million for Mariota's contract. Maybe Trent Brown is a name that some of you guys are going to throw out there. Again, I don't anticipate this one happening. They need him at right tackle. So let me know, who is the most likely player on the Raiders to get traded? FM for Foster Moreau, ZJ for Zay Jones, or you guys can throw somebody else's name in the comments below. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be live on our Chat Sports YouTube channel. Please go check it out, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Tom Downey and I, we're going to be live for like 4 or 5 hours. Harrison Graham as well. Going to be breaking down the NFL trade deadline. If you liked anything that we've done in the past, maybe for our NFL draft coverage, that's what we're going to be doing. I know I usually go live on the Raiders Report on Tuesdays. My game plan is still to go live. Obviously, that can change if the Raiders make a big-time trade. If something happens, at the end of the day, I am going to try to be live for y'all. But if you at least want some sort of live show, join us tomorrow, noon Eastern time. Please, please, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel there. We're going to be live for like 4 to 5 hours. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. So trading away, but guess what? Trading for players. This is the one that I want the Raiders to do. So are they going to end up doing it? I think I'm going to unfortunately give it only one Chucky head, another small shred of truth. The Raiders still need to upgrade their defense. One of the reasons why I'm not 100% sure if they're going to do it is simply because they might not actually have the money. They might not have the physical cash in order to go out some of these big-name players. Why? You just built a $2 billion stadium. You have no season tickets coming in. That's a lot of lost money. I mean, when you see the amount of money that the Raiders have lost from not having fans at games, it's billions. Like that's how much money it actually is. So maybe they don't actually have the money to go out and do it. But if you could say who are the ideal trade candidates that the Raiders should go out and get, it's these guys. I want Harrison Smith. He would be a beautiful duo next to Jonathan Abram. Marcus Maye. We're seeing the Jets get rid of a lot of their players. Heck, they just got rid of Avery Williamson to the Steelers for a 2022 fifth-round pick. I mean, come on. Stephon Gilmore, if you can get him anything less than a first-round pick, I say you do it. Brian Poole would be an absolutely great nickel cornerback. And then Anthony Harris as well. If at any point you see a video tomorrow of me going live for a trade, oh my goodness, I hope it is one of these 5 dudes. So those are my 5 ideal trade candidates. But what about y'all? What do you have to say? Out of those 5 guys, you can put their name down below, or if maybe you want somebody like a Julio Jones, I know his name's going to come up. I want you to name a player that the Raiders should go out and trade for. I'm always curious. I'm always looking in the comments. And if you guys have any other questions, even about Panda Sups or what you saw in today's video, you can always hit me up on Instagram at MitchellRens365.